bigger than I thought. He has to be around here somewhere.
Leave me alone! Go away!
You don't need to be scared now. I'm not with them.
That doesn't mean you won't kill me. You just want this for yourself.
I'm a friend of Socrates.
You are? Prove it!
Socrates is one of the most frustrating people I've ever known. He just talks and talks and talks. And it feels like he asks questions just so he can continue talking and talking and talking.
What you call frustrating, I call brilliant. But it's clear you know him well.
Why were those men after you?
For some reason, they wanted these writings of Socrates's. Well, I wrote them, but it's all his words.
That seems like a strange thing to want.
One of them had a big mouth. He mentioned something about the priest at the sanctuary of Athena Pronea. He said this was the final thing they needed to get rid of Socrates.
I've always been curious. What does Socrates teach you?
So much. Follow him around for an entire day and you won't be able to sleep. Your mind will be so aflutter with thoughts.
I'm not sure I'd last a whole day with him. What drew you to Socrates?
I've never met a man like him and I don't think I ever will again. Every day with him is one worth waking up for.
I'll take care of the priests.
Thank you. And, well, please, give this to Socrates. It hurts me to say this after all I've learned from him, but I have a family. I can't risk being caught up in whatever this is.
So you're going to stop being his student?
It feels I have no choice. Maybe one day that will change.
I'll be sure to give him the writings.
Thank you. Make sure he stays safe. The world will be a worse place without him in it.
That student gave me an idea. Xanthippe said there was a symposium. Maybe I can convince the others who were there to help Socrates. I'm not sure why the priests want Socrates gone, but I need to... take care of them.
Περιπάτη!
need to talk to them. Maybe I can convince them to stand up for...
Do not students take what they learn from their teachers? What then if the teacher is wrong? Does that not simply perpetuate these wrong teachings amongst future generations?
You assume the students aren't wise enough to understand the flaws of the teacher. Think of those who came before us. First Thales, then his student Anaximandros, and then Anaximenes. Without the teachings of those before him, it's safe to say Anaximenes would not have reached the conclusions he did.
I don't think that's true at all. Oh, perhaps this new phase can offer a different perspective.
I've never heard the names you just mentioned.
It's never too late to learn. But even so, one doesn't need to know who they are to answer. Is it not a risk that wrong ideas will be passed along if a student doesn't have the wisdom to seek the truth?
If we listen to others and take what they say as fact, we have only ourselves to blame.
So, no matter who is speaking, student or teacher, we must spend time trying to understand if what they say is even true.
Your appearance betrays you, Mystios. Clearly, you've taken on your own.
Something like that. He's the reason I'm here. Socrates needs your help.
Socrates? Ha! If it's another debate you want, it will be hard for us to decide who hates that man more. Why would we help him?
It doesn't matter if he's your worst enemy. If they're willing to imprison someone like Socrates only for his words, what's to say they won't do the same to you?
So, you want us to help out of fear of being imprisoned ourselves?
I don't care why you help. If I hadn't said his name, would you think it was right Socrates was locked up?
If it's as you say, and it was for his words, then no.
And aren't you afraid it could happen to you, too?
Of course. If we can't speak our minds, what else are we to do?
If you believe that, then you should help.
Fine, fine. You've made your point, and you've made it well. Socrates deserves our help, but we don't give it lightly.
That makes it worth even more.
We'll be on our way then. We'll gather some others as well. Make sure our voices are heard. Believe it or not, we're pretty good at causing a scene.
If you're like Socrates, that's not hard to believe.
Wow, I've never seen someone convince them so easily before.
Is that so? I guess I should feel proud. Surprised to see a child here.
Is there an age at which it would suddenly be okay to debate with them? What then of the night before I turned that age? Should we be prevented from doing what we wish due to the world's view of us?
I can't even have a normal conversation with a child.
Normal is no fun. Look around. Everyone here wants the same thing.
Headaches?
Debate!
You're the first kid I've met who'd rather debate than play.
Don't tell the others, but I'm envious that you're a student of Socrates. I hope one day to be as well.
You're on the right path. What's your name?
Aristocles. Although I've never liked that name much.
It does sound like countless others I've heard around Athens. Why not choose another?
I can do that? Huh. My brother always had a problem saying my name, so he called me Plato instead. Perhaps I'll use that.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, I better hurry after the others. Here!
Τι το τούτον!
the priests are dead, I won't be able to testify against Socrates. I should return to Socrates before the trial starts. Socrates, you're here.
I am.
What happened? The trial couldn't have taken place that quickly.
Had I been given the chance to defend myself, it would have been quick indeed. But unfortunately for me, I was let free before I could.
That's good news.
Apparently, those who had charges to bring against me were found dead. And evidence they claimed to have went missing.
It sounds like someone was looking out for you.
There were also some people protesting my arrest, I was told. I have to ask, did you have something to do with this?
Do you really need to ask?
No, but you still deserve the chance to answer.
Did you have time to find an answer for the Pythia's words?
I thought it would have taken much longer than it did, but the moment I stopped thinking about it, it came to me like a flash of Zeus's lightning.
So, do you agree with Pythia or not?
The gods cannot lie. Yet, I know that I know nothing. I had to understand what it meant for one who knows nothing to be called wise. I realized that though the Pythia said my name, she did not mean me.
Who did she mean then?
That is not an answer I'd yet like to voice. It's one that people may not want to hear, and I must think on how I wish to share my new beliefs with Athens.
Whatever it is, be careful. I don't want to find you've been arrested again. We should get you home. I'm sure you'll be more comfortable there.
In some ways, that will be true. In others, well, Xanthippe will decide that. Being free feels good, but I don't believe Xanthippe will be happy with me.
She has a good reason to be mad this time.
We argue often about how I need to be careful with what I say and what I said. This will only give her more cause to bring it up.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Oh, you misunderstand. I love it.
You do?
People see Xanthippe and believe it is her beauty that drew me to her. But it is her argumentative spirit I lost for.
Nobody ever likes that about me.
Having my opinions and thoughts challenged helps me to refine them and to grow as a person.
And she likes these arguments?
Oh, I doubt it. But it is in those fiery moments that her spirit is strongest, like an untamed horse.
Don't call her a horse to her face.
I'm afraid your advice is a bit too late.
Get somewhere safe, Socrates.
I wonder what that was about.
The things I do, sometimes hard to know.
Let's hurry back before anything else happens.
You came back. Finally. I'm ready to return to Athens. I've had enough of Phorkys and this talk of the Pythia.
You will be happy to hear I have no need for her words any longer.
Ah, then something positive came out of this after all.
I just remembered. A student of yours has been taking notes of your teachings. He wanted you to have them. What did you do that for?
Nobody asked him to write down my words.
Even so, why not keep it? Share it with others.
Because of a story I was told as a boy.
All right, let's hear it.
The king of Egypt, Thamos, was visited by the god Thephtha. Thephtha offered the invention of writing to the king and told him it was an elixir of memory and wisdom. But Thamos disagreed. He believed the people would no longer use their memories, for they would simply read instead. These written words would not offer true wisdom, but only the appearance of such.
You don't want your own words written down, so others can't use them to pretend to be smart.
Much like creatures in a painting, the words sit there unmoving. If you ask them a question, they will preserve a solemn silence. And no matter how many times you ask, they will only ever say the same thing. They cannot defend their message.
That's the part you like. The defense of your words.
All who speak should defend their words if questioned about them. That is why I choose to speak and not write. That is why any words of mine that last beyond my final breath will be those that people choose to remember. Those words will be true wisdom and not an illusion.
What's your plan now?
After I return to Athens, there's much I need to consider.
You'll be careful, right?
If I have to choose between saying nothing and staying safe, or speaking up and risking my life, the choice is easy.
I should get going. I'm glad you're free.
As am I, although, if you allow me, there is something.
I doubt I could stop you.
We like to believe that action means progress, but it's control that's so truly desired. The more we do, the more control it seems we have, but the less we allow for others. If we grip too tightly, we'll find we've crushed what it is we're holding on to.
Meaning?
Meaning we must sometimes let life unfold without trying to influence the outcome.
I'll keep that in mind. I almost forgot. In your letter you said you had something to ask me. What was it?
You know, I've completely forgotten now. Take care, Cassandra.
Stay out of trouble, Socrates.
Slow down! Get to the stadium! Watch where you're going!
That was too close.
My, is that Cassandra Vaird, the Eagle Bearer, messenger of Zeus, she who launched 1,000 hearts?
Alcibiades. I'm known by many names, but that last one sounds to be of your own making.
My young friend Archimedes here could use your legendary talents to woo the object of his desire.
You would have my eternal gratitude.
I'd like to know more about the man asking for my help.
I'm Archimedes. I came to Alcibiades because he boasts of his exploits as a lover and knows Braxilla.
I'm a Misthios, not some famed lover.
You can tell just from looking at her. But enough of that.
What's the job?
Have you ever heard of Braxilla?
The name sounds familiar. Who is she?
Who is she? A poet blessed by Apollo himself. She describes the gods as if they were her lovers. Her lyre is a legendary weapon wielded in her hands. I want to meet her, but talking to a goddess such as she? Terrifying.
Oh, nonsense. Usually you give a woman some flowers, and she'll show you her flower. However, this is Praxila. She is not easily impressed.
Of course. No ordinary flower will do. They need to be worthy of a goddess.
I come to this coast every year for the Poetry Festival. Of all the beautiful blossoms, none match the scent and radiance of the coral rose. Fetch some, and all doors and legs shall open for you.
I'll return with your flowers. Where can I find the coral rose? It sounds rare.
You would be correct. However, like all good things in life, these take more work than most are willing to expend. They're atop a nearby mountain.
Say I do get these flowers. Where would I bring them?
Back to camp? Braxilla should...
You mentioned being here for...
I did. It's one of the many festivals to...
I've heard enough.
Please, if you are...
You'd be an easy snack for wolves or bears. I'll return with the roses. These must be the coral roses. I found your coral roses.
You're back! That's perfect. The roses are perfect. Oh, look at the luster. The fragrance. Now you must deliver them to her.
You came all this way to meet her. You should be the one to do it.
Please, I'm much too nervous to speak to her. I've composed a poem to recite. Here, let me teach you.
I'm not saying any Malaka's poem. That's your job, not mine.
Then I must rehearse. Will you at least deliver the flowers before they wilt?
Fine, but you'll do the rest.
Okay, she's at her tent, right there. Go give them to her.
Praxila, I have flowers for you from Orchimidis of... somewhere.
Did I not tell you to get the wine 5 minutes ago?
Cassandra Vayed, may I introduce you to my dear friend Praxila, Apollo's muse and mistress of the Golden Strings.
You're Praxila?
Didn't expect an aged bard. Mercenary of Ayat?
People your age tend to have more wealth. So, if anything, this is better for me.
Praxila, this is Cassandra Vayed, Eagle-bearer, messenger of Zeus, launcher of 1,000...
Cassandra Kaka, cast stone and light alike, leaves ladies and lads alight alive. Ailing women and awestruck men cling to her side.
A true genius.
Look at those shoulders. A soldier, a Spartan, a thorn in the side of tyrants. She who dares challenge Poseidon. Alcibiades, this one I'm keeping my eyes on.
The poems she writes about me are never so kind.
I have flowers for you. They're not from me. They're from Orchimidis. He's right over... Well, he was over there.
A coral rose? Huh. I'll have to get my servant to add these to the pile.
It's a gift. Show some gratitude.
Where is that servant girl? I swear her head must be rattling with rocks.
I wish she'd rattle my rocks.
A Haikos is missing. That idiot must have taken it with her and run off.
A Haikos.
Achaikos is Praxila's legendary lyre.
I set it down after tuning moments before you arrived. I can't go on stage without a Haikos.
I did see Orchimidis leaving in quite a hurry.
We need to get that lyre back. Please, without Praxila getting everyone's juices flowing, this festival is just a bunch of young men measuring the size of their verse.
This lyre was special. Can you play another for your recite?
Perseus without winged sandals or a mirrored shield was just a man. Would he have this?
It's very valuable, both...
Orchimidis and the missing servant both disappeared as the lyre was stolen. They could be...
Oh, and he seemed like such a...
Alcibiades invited a viper into my tent.
Is there somewhere they could have taken?
It's a poetry festival. There's no better hub.
I'll find the... Do you know a man named Orchimidis?
Orchimidis. Orchimidis. That's the kid who hangs out around.
The Vipers? Who are...
You know how it is. People feel small, so they band together to make the rest of us feel smaller. They took over the temple of Athena Itonia a while back. Now it's hard to take the road without being held at...
Do you think that's where Orchimidis would take...
Hope not. For his sake. The Vipers are dangerous. If he did have the lyre on him, that...
Is the Temple of Athena...
You can buy and sell anything here, unfortunately. But going to the Vipers guarantees the person you stole from won't follow you in.
Did he have a lyre on him?
I didn't see him with one. I saw him to...
Thank you for your...
Hope you find the lyre. Watch out for the vipers at the Temple of Athinaito.
You're that servant. The one who disappeared at the same time as the liar.
I can explain. Archimedes talked me into it and said he'd use the drachmi to buy my freedom. When we escaped, he said he wanted to bring the liar to the Vipers. I said no. The Vipers said yes.
So, the Vipers have Archimedes and the liar now. As for you, you can go back to Praxilla and apologize if you really want help. That must be where they're keeping Archimedes and the liar.
Thank the gods, I'm saved. These horrible thugs blackmailed me into stealing the lion.
I doubt that.
They took it from me when I was captured. Malaka got what they deserved.
Did they force you to steal Praxilla's lyre?
No, they gave me the confidence I was lacking. We would drink and complain about poetry at the festival, and I let slip that Praxilla's my mother.
What? Praxilla's your mother?
She is. She abandoned me and my father when I was a child. Something about following her destiny to be a wandering poet. My father, Achaikos, built the lyre for her as a wedding present. She loved it more than us. I wanted her to feel the way we did when she left.
Praxilla got what she deserved for abandoning her family.
I just wanted her to feel some of the pain I felt. Why don't I feel better?
Archimedes, I know you still have the lyre. Give it to me.
It got broken in the struggle.
Malaka!
Wait, before you leave, I need some advice. Should I talk to Praxilla? I don't know what to do.
Approach Praxilla as yourself and talk to her. Maybe she missed you and didn't know how to come home.
I need time to think about everything. My father, my mother, my friends. Please don't tell Praxilla who I am.
Why are you in my way?
I was able to get the lyre, but not in one piece.
Thank you. Oh, Haikos, what mischief did you get yourself into? Oh, Cassandra, thwarter of thieves. I appreciate you bringing a Haikos back to me, but I need to ask another favor.
You need help fixing the lyre.
Perceptive, too. Look at it. Wood's gone soft, body splintered, it's toneless, tuneless even.
What can be done to save it?
Cressis has been having this festival for years. The town is built around it. Of course, because instruments are as fragile as a poet's heart, there's a master lyre maker at Cressis port.
Not too far away.
And since it's been proven that nothing is safe on these hills, I'll need some muscle for protection.
I can help you get there safely.
The journey will be worth your while. Come now.
I'm right behind you.
I have many fond memories of this place. I've watched the port grow into a town, and the small gathering of friends grow into a massive festival. It's more home than home.
Your true love is a lyre and your home is a poetry festival? You never wanted to settle somewhere?
Oh, you sweet young child. My life isn't as simple as you make it out to be. I'm like Zephyros, needing to go where I please. I learned this the hard way.
So you care only for yourself?
If you only live your life for others, what's the point? You're nothing but a slave, a loyal beast at best.
People can get hurt.
If I had lived the life expected of me, traditional and domestic, I would have died. Died inside. And like as not, thrown myself into the sea. I know what I need.
Seems like the festival here is much less formal than the others I've encountered.
Yes, Dionysus claimed our offerings to Apollo and granted us the gift of ecstasy.
I can see why it would attract people from far and wide.
Do not misunderstand. Hidden is one part of... Timiha, where are you?
Who is making all that fucking noise?
The smell of the sea is almost enough to cover your stench, Timiha.
Raxilla, I've been gathering fruits to throw at you all week.
High praise coming from you. I need a favor. Achaikos was kidnapped by some idiot and needs a new neck.
This idiot?
This idiot carries a sharp spear.
I hired this muscle here to get Achaikos back. Now she's keeping me company.
All right, give him here. Poor fellow's been brutalized.
But you can fix it, right?
Of course I can fix him. I am the best pair of hands you're going to find outside of Athens. Problem is, Achaikos is a special boy. I have materials, but nothing worthy of putting him together.
What materials do you need?
I have what I need for the neck, but the old one took the strings and yoke out when it snapped. Ah, there's a crack running through the soundbox. That needs to be replaced.
What should I be looking for?
Some use bone for the yoke and neck, but nothing beats wood in my opinion. Strings are made from gut, and we could use a shell for the soundbox.
Those strings don't look like guts to me.
They are. Just soaked for a long time and pulled thin. I'm sure you'll enjoy killing some legendary beast to help Achaikos sing.
I've seen some lyres with turtle shells for the body.
Not a lot of turtles on this coast, but a good sturdy conch should do the trick.
What's a yoke? And what wood do you need to replace it?
The yoke is the crossbar that all of the strings are attached to.
Sure is. It needs to bend, so a springy wood is best.
I think we all can agree on that.
I will return with the materials to repair Achaikos. Wolves are fierce animals. I'll gut them for Praxia. Hope these are enough guts for fixing a Haikos. This shell should be perfect for Praxila's lyre. That should be enough wood for a new lyre. I have everything we need.
Excellent. Give it here.
Be careful with it.
He'll like me better when I'm done.
Well, that's the first complaint.
There he is, looking more...
You call this your best work? You're robbing me blind.
Oh, shut up, and go deafen the masses with your...
Thanks for the help. Here's your drachmi. I need some time to put a high cost through space. I might need some help after, though, so swing by my tent when you have a minute.
Sure, if I'm in the area.
This is a restricted area.
Better check that out. This will be
The Mistios returns. Do you have time to accompany me and Achaikos to our triumphant performance?
After all this, I wouldn't miss it.
Excellent. We team up once more.
So we're a team now. Can I still expect to get paid?
After my performance, drachmi will be in no short supply. Trust me.
You've dedicated your life to your art. You must have a lot to show for it.
I write 100 poems every night when I go to sleep, and I throw out 100 every morning when I wake up. Luckily, some have survived to touch people.
Do you have any favorites?
There's one I'm well known for that is very dear to me. The most beautiful thing I leave is the light of the sun. Second are the shining stars and the face of the moon. Then ripe cucumbers.
Sounds nice. So, cucumbers.
The sun gives us the fruit of the trees, like the fruit of the loins.
In your poem, you say you leave the sun. Why?
Not me. Adonis. He's being asked upon death about the most beautiful things he's left behind. To me, there is no greater beauty than that of the sun, and the moon, and stars.
Oh. Why is he being asked this?
Adonis is beauty incarnate. What could be so beautiful that even he would be pained to leave?
I see. Looks like we've made it.
Marvelous. Thank you. Looks like my adoring fans are ready for me. Be sure to catch the show.
It's Praxilla!
I heard she was coming this year.
Praxilla! Recite something for us!
I've been reciting this poem for years. Cassandra, would you do me the kindness of allowing me to hear it anew from your lips?
I couldn't.
Nonsense. You know everything you need to do it justice. How about something new this year?
The most beautiful thing I leave is the light of the moon.
Wow! Is this a new version?
Second are the shining eyes and face of my lover.
Oh, that's so romantic! Is it a new variation?
Then, ripe peaches, figs, and pomegranates too.
I love this new interpretation.
Cassandra, your interpretation of my poem has made me feel more connected to it than I have in years. You didn't recite my words, but the emotions shone through.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It wouldn't be a poetry festival without someone causing a disturbance.
Praxilla, get to safety. I can handle them.
Now!
Happens every year. Some cursed idiots drink too much wine and get themselves killed.
I didn't know poetry festivals were such lively events.
Indeed. I need to take a moment to recover. Let's go back to my tent.
But we do have a happy ending.
Praxilla, it has taken me long years of soul-searching and many nights of tears to bring myself to this moment. I am Archimedes, your son.
When I heard the name of the man who stole my lyre, I suspected it might be you.
I've dreamt of hurting you as you hurt me and my father 1,000 times. But I only knew you as the mother who abandoned me and not as the artist that I just saw.
Just as Adonis lamented the beauty he left behind, I too left that which was most precious to me on the death of my old self.
You're not dead. Neither of you are. Take this opportunity and see what you can build together.
Thank you for all your help.
By Zeus! I would have been a goner there if it wasn't for you.
Lucky I came by.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Epi. Well, Epizilos, but my friends call me Epi. Not that I have friends, necessarily.
I'm Cassandra.
Charmed. You have the look of someone used to being out in the world.
You look like you shouldn't be outside on your own. At all.
It can't be helped. I've been overcome with adventure. I have, in my possession, a Mycenaean tablet that leads to a sacred burial site. I'm calling it the Cave of the Oracle.
Good for you.
Mycenaeans were known for their elaborate grave sites, full of precious things.
How precious?
Ancient jewelry, ceremonial swords and daggers.
How can I turn down the promise of precious things?
The fates have delivered you onto my path, and thus we travel together. Why are you going
The
that
fates
way?
have been known to have a sense of humor.
Happening upon you, hero, is fortuitous.
Glad to hear it. So, you dig through Bukro?
No. Well, yes and no. I dig through dirt, too.
That's what farmers do.
I uncover our history. Sometimes, hopefully this time, we'll uncover ancient wonders.
I hate to break it to you, but clay pots and dirt aren't that wondrous to most.
I've dedicated my life to it. It's so much more than treasure to be looted.
Is it, though?
It's who we are. Knowing where we come from tells us where we are headed.
You educated people in your riddles.
Some people don't care about the past. They only want to steal something that will make them a few drachmi. Imagine that.
Hard to believe.
My peers are no more than treasure hunters and art dealers.
Well, you did mention precious jewels.
These ruins and relics are notoriously hard to find. I found this one through clever searching and deduction.
Tell me more about it.
Mycenaeans held specific rituals. Some tales speak of objects made by the gods.
Yes, the gods like to play their hand on occasion.
Think of this, Mystios. How would you like to have had the gods help you in battle?
A good warrior doesn't need any help from the gods, or anyone else.
True, true. But think of what we might find there.
You think we'll find something with this power?
See? Now are you interested?
I certainly am. The Oracle of Trophonius. I wonder if the cult's working here, too.
What's this?
Stay back.
They seem drawn to this place. I hadn't expected that.
Does this have to do with whatever that name was you said?
The Mycenians? I don't see how they could know. It must be related to Trophonius. I'll observe them and see what I can learn.
Fine. I'll search further inside.
Wait! Take this steely piece. See if there are markings that match it.
Not much of a burial site. Mules are buried in higher places of honor. The steely piece looks like it can be placed. This is unexpected. This is more elaborate than I thought. Like it. Let's see what we have. This statue depicts a warrior. Markings match Epi's stone. Epi will want to see all of this. we're in the right place. Unfortunately, my friend, it's been looted. All I found was this armor.
That is highly significant. The Mykenaeans were a warrior culture, you know. So this must be a warrior's tomb.
Well, it's a decent piece, but where's the rest of it? Maybe that will reveal more armor. The rest of the stele you speak of could be anywhere.
If I can find clues for where to look, are you interested in finding the other stele pieces?
I'll look for the others.
Excellent! Now, I need to see those markings. Let's go inside. I didn't expect the stele keystone to actually be a key.
I wonder what happens when all of them are in place.
Even with only part of the stele, I can start to decipher the writing.
What does it say?
I think that says of the gods.
Really? To think you were someone yelling for help not long ago.
Look at me now.
I think you're going to need all of them, though.
According to this, it seems that the stele pieces have been deliberately separated.
I wonder why they were separated on purpose.
It doesn't matter if we can find them. Will you look for the other stele pieces?
Of course. Where should I look?
According to this, the next stele is... Oh, better you than me. I can't swim. Explore the ruins of Arni.
What's the connection between this tomb and those worshippers?
The writing mentions of the gods. It's not clear which gods, though. Once we decipher more, we should understand the connection.
The armor must belong to the ancient warrior. But why remove it and spread it out across the lands?
Good question. It must have something to do with the text.
So these markings are in ancient language?
Mykenaean. There are languages even older than that, which have been lost. When this died out, sadly, we fell into a dark age.
Time for me to go.
that bounty, you have to die.
Ποιος ο υπέτειος?
The bounty on your head is mine! There she is! Right there!
Your clue was right. I found a part of the stele, along with another piece of armor.
There must be a piece of armor with each missing stele.
But why?
This section here refers to a ritual.
It doesn't explain why the armor was separated and hidden with the stele piece.
Maybe that was part of the ritual? We need to find the other stele pieces. Are you ready?
If we found these, then we'll find the other stele pieces too. I'll go look.
Even with the full keystone in place, some of the meaning may be lost on us.
I have faith in you.
Oh! You won't believe what this section says. Of the primordial gods. Primordial.
That's interesting.
That's ancient.
It could just be a prayer on behalf of the warrior.
That's what I thought too. Until I read this part.
There's more?
It mentions that the ritual will be activated.
What ritual?
I have no idea. I'm presuming it means we need all of the steles in place before something happens.
Do you have the location for the missing piece?
This text is hard to make sense of. It appears to be a warning. Be careful when you explore the tomb of Orion.
I'll be careful. Do any of your peers support you in this?
None.
The Dark Age.
There is truth and insight in looking...
Huh.
My role is...
Do you work?
How can it?
What?
I have...
Time to go.
Whatever you're after, you're too late. They're all gone. Dead or mad.
I don't understand. Who did this to you?
I don't understand it myself. My brethren and I were drawn to this place, but madness took over. We fought over the artifact. One of them grabbed it.
Grabbed the Steely?
Search the caves. That's where they'll be hiding. Beware the...
The gods speak only to me! You can't have it!
Was the Stele influencing them in some way? There may be some truth in this lore.
Oh, is that blood on it?
It's otherwise undamaged. There are people claiming that it speaks to them. What could do that?
Strange. I don't hear anything. Do you?
Words of madmen. Perhaps the next pieces will tell us more.
This one needs a good cleaning. Let's hope the remaining ones are fine.
I'll search for the remaining steelies.
My peers will finally listen to what I have to say. It says the ritual will activate something. But what? What will happen when we have all the pieces? Will it lead to Some of the translation is lost on me. This passage speaks of worth.
What else?
This passage mentions something about inner vision. But the meaning is unclear.
It's almost translated. Why aren't...
You tell me others are hearing things. They think it speaks to them. Yet I hear nothing.
This is an important find. You said so yourself. Why does it matter?
I know. I see that it's important from a logical perspective. But what if I can't experience it? And this mention of what...
What if the gods are not worthy of us? Look, we aren't done yet, right? So wait and see.
You're right. You're right.
We should carry on.
There are 2 locations to explore this time. There's a temple in the city of Orchomenos. It's near the harbor. The other stele is difficult to pinpoint. There are ruins along the coastline, near the altar for Iphigenia.
All right then. And cheer up. We're almost done.